pilot project in one community, and then as resources dictate, or maybe that service provider will work with other fitness areas in other parts of the municipality to deliver that. But I'd like that in there. I think we need to have a discussion. I don't think this is just about service delivery in one community. It has been for 7 years. I think in fairness, we need to have that larger. So do I need to make another motion on that, or would Councillor Underwood consider putting that in his motion, that part and parcel is a discussion period on service deliveries of this nature?
Councillor Underwood, do you want to change your motion to include Councillor Bonnie's recommendation?
Can I respond?
Yeah.
An RFP process, as far as I'm concerned, is going to bring forward all sorts of different ideologies and methods and models that we're going to be able to look at and discuss. To sit down before we see what is out there, what is basically for sale, and decide upon an ideology before we know what's there, I don't think that's the most sensible way of doing it. For anything, if we're going for any sort of road surfacing, and we say we want to have this, and this is just it, and this is our ideology, and then somebody comes ahead with an RFP saying, hey, I've got a product that's half the price, it lasts 5 times as long. We say, sorry, we've made the, so I don't want to I don't want to make it into something it isn't for whatever. I'd like to see what's out there, and then what we choose pretty well is going to direct our ideology on that particular service for the next 5 years, or hey, if they want to sweeten the pot and make it a 10-year contract and say we can do it for this much cheaper for you or whatever, that would be great too. We can look at that, options.
Councillor Scott.
I believe that what Councillor Bronson is suggesting should be a separate motion. We've got an RFP on the floor that's for a specific thing, and that doesn't tie it.
Just through you, Mark, just to clarify, in this RFP process, we have to determine whether we want to say that equipment is included in this, utilities are included, or whether you're saying, you have to provide your own equipment because we have to compare apples and apples, right? So how are you suggesting that we define that?
Well, right now, our consistent model is that we have the equipment, we have the facilities. That's what we have. I mean, I'm not willing to sell the shorts or the equipment personally. That is an ideological discussion that I'd rather not have.
The request will be for an operator.
For an operator, somebody in a service contract.
Councillor Scott.
I think in doing that RFP, what happens if the equipment fails? If we're giving it to someone else to run, I don't want to be replacing the equipment. Like, I don't have a problem using what we already have to start out.
Honestly,
but I don't
sorry,
really want.
This should be the CAO at this point when it comes to those kind of details.
That will be in the contract.
We've changed the whole concept. So we're asking for an operator, but we're not using the route that we're using and paying the person. We're looking for someone to come in and store our equipment.
We're asking for someone to go in to do the same thing as the clients. So the contracting to operate our facilities and our equipment. We have a maintenance program on our equipment. We have a capital replacement program through the budget on our equipment. So that's
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I think as part of the RFP process, there are different criteria and different rules that we have to meet if we contract with a private company to provide the municipal property versus a nonprofit. And that will be very much at the forefront of all of this because we have to be very careful with what we do and what we provide to a private for-profit company. There may be restrictions on what we can and can't do. So that still needs to be sorted out in the detail of the RFP.
Yes, and another issue in addition to that is whether we're going to require a certain number of
past that now. What I hear is that we're asking staff to develop an asking staff to notify the YMCA of council's intent to RFP wellness programming services. To that point, okay, when you do an RFP, the proponents need to know how the proposal is going to be judged. So we will also have to provide them, and we obviously we haven't got to that because we didn't know we were doing that today, but we will develop the RFP and it will highlight things that we're looking for. What is your approach to community-wide program? What is your approach to equipment? What is your approach to hours of service? What is your approach to affordability? Those are all things that then when we see the proposals come back, we will weigh the proposals and we'll say, this one best fits what we feel council's needs are. So that's the way that an RFP process would work.
Thank you.
Well, that's just a question for you, Mr. Mayor, then to the CEO. See, fundamentally, I'd like to support this motion. My problem is, to me, it's an elitist situation that we have. 4 communities in this municipality, in effect, are subsidizing one community to be well. And so I'm asking you, I guess, in the RFP proposal, could that be one of the considerations is the expansion of that service, resources, taken into account, to expand that philosophy of wellness to the other 4 communities that are in this municipality?
Mr. Mayor, certainly that's one of the items that can be in there is expanded programming. I will, however, disagree. It's not my debate, but we are in, and I think maybe it's just something about amalgamated communities. I came from one too. Everybody can't have everything. Okay, we are now one community. We don't have an arena in every community. We don't have a marina in every community. I think it is reasonable. I think it is reasonable for council to say, this is the service that we offer for the folks in the community. This is where it is. Okay, we offer something different somewhere else. Pioneer Provincial Park, it's not the folks in Arcona. They've got a very different landscape there. So that is part of the philosophical conversation that I think council needs to have back to the original thing we had about partnerships, strategic planning, and it's a hard thing because everybody is looking at what the other guy has. But I think that council would probably find a way to say, this is what we do. All of that said, can we talk about